It is currently 1 a.m. on a Wednesday, or technically Thursday, and I don't really have anything better to do than to finish my scrap mechanic project of making a game. It's an avoid asteroid kind of shooter. Not that complicated really. It is currently having a bit of a stroke. I need to get it back on the lift. Reset everything. One current flaw that I'm not happy with is this here being the program, and I would love to have it read items or obstacles of a DVD or a CD or a spinning disc or any memory. I just didn't have the time to bother with that, so we're going to leave it as is. That I'll have to do. Maybe I might increase the timer. It's currently 500 milliseconds between obstacles, adding up to maybe 5 seconds of gameplay, which isn't really a lot, but we'll get around to that. So what it does is it sends pulses through each of these. So these are like the current on-screen obstacles, and I have to make a grid that sends those down, and that grid has to be the same as this, I suppose. Yeah. So what we're going to do is going to save this as unnamed. Doesn't matter. Build another one and just take that. Voila. And we're still going to keep that. The playing field is actually 5 rows, but we're going to keep this one because this is going to be my which of the... Should I even use a counter for this, or should I use timers? I should probably use counters. I'm going to use counters. So make more. These are memory bits. They just remember ones or zeros. When I click here, that's 1, 2, or 1, 0, 1, 0 basically. And this right here resets them. So I need to drag out a reset. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I put on 12 because I might need this overflow for a reset. Not sure. We will see. Nor. So we do that, and then we do all of this. The problem with this is if I want to change the gameplay speed, now I need to modify every timer. The way I'm doing it now is if I want to change the gameplay speed, I'm going to have to modify like 2 timers, or yeah, basically 3 timers maybe. So the way we do it is I'm going to place on another one of these. So every 500 milliseconds move down a slot. Not like this, like this. And then I have to make a timer loop like so. That goes in here, and here, and here. And that's an OR gate, and this is 500 and 500. Budding break. I have budding. Now I need to shorten this 500 millisecond pulse down to... I mean, I don't really have to, I just prefer having like 50 millisecond pulses. But we'll figure that out. So now what we want to do is basically the same thing. I don't need half of these, but I don't care right now. So this XOR, and you're going to see now it shortens it down to 75, right? But it has it activates twice. It activates when the timer fills up and when the timer empties. You fix that by doing this. So only when this one is active, and yeah. And now I can basically modify that post to whatever I fucking want. But 50 milliseconds is fine. 1 tick breaks logic gates, 2 ticks doesn't, or memory bits, not logic gates. So you kind of have to work at 2 tick speed or 50 milliseconds. Now what you want to do is add a logic gate here that activates that one. When this one and this one are active, activate that one. And so this is not making a lot of sense to you now, but it will be, but it will soon. So we're going to skip this for now, and we're going to continue down this row of AND gates. What these essentially do is, if the previous one is active, which if it's not active, it's obviously not the next one's turn, right? You have to go 1, 2, 3. You can't go 1, 3, 5. And if the pulse timer is doing its thing, then you can switch over to the next one. So we're going to do that first. Connect all of these in a loop, and this one is actually going to activate something else. I'm going to show you that in a second here. But first we route all of these back home, and now you're going to see it working because I connected it from the back to the front. Or you should. Oh, I didn't do this. So yeah, now every 500 milliseconds you switch over to the next one. And the last one is not going to activate this logic gate or this memory bit. The last one is actually going to reset the whole thing and cause it, and cause it to go from the start. So what these do is now these route into this right here, but not directly, because we need to have one specific line of the game chosen, not every single one. And how we do that is this one and this one into an XOR. So if only the first one is active, then it is active. If the first one and the second one are active, then it's inactive. The way XOR works is 0 and 0 is 0, 0 and 1 is 1, 1 and 0 is 1, and 1 and 1 is 0. So really useful logic gate, one of my favorites. Use it for calculators and everything. And we just stack the same thing. You could do this using binary, using addition. This one and this one, this one and this one, this one and this one, and so on and so forth. Here we go. So now we have a line of code chosen every time. Line of the game, not code. Oh, and we have a dead bit when none of them are active. That's not good. Oh, you know how we're going to do this? Not like this, definitely not like this. Every time it comes to a certain point, we're going to change. Every time it comes to the end, we're going to change the generated this. I'm going to explain to you this to you now. Basically, I input. It would be a lot easier without this mess. This is supposed to be the program, but it's a bad kind of programming because it's proprietary and cannot be modified in a way whatsoever. It's basically a non-rewritable DVD, which is useless. So now I set up. I have to turn it on. So now it sends this, and if I put a comment on line 3 or row 3, then it sends row 3 comment every time. And basically every time this reaches the end, we're going to switch what is being inputted here. But for now it can just send this. It makes no difference to me really. We need this last row. It's going to be our elimination row, and this is our controlled row. So O0 isn't an option. Hold on, I need to eliminate that. So the first one is none of them, the second one is the first one, and the second one. Then it's the second one and the third one, and these all need to be XOR. XOR, XOR, XOR. Granted that I don't really need this bit at all. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah, it immediately goes back. So now you can see down there we choose which position our ship is in, and if those will match those in any case, which is where the asteroid will be, that will trigger a loss basically. If you excuse me, I'm going to play some music while I do this. I don't really want to lose my sanity. Now it's time to start setting these conditions. So if this row is active and these ones are active, then yeah, I just don't really need these anymore. This was a from that old system, which is now going to be changed, so don't really need that because that's not how the obstacles are generated anymore. Yeah, the condition is this one is active and then whichever one from these rows is active. So I need to connect all of these like that, and then all of these basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not really rocket science. So yeah, now that I'm here, I'm going to actually speed up the gameplay because you see how these really don't go down all that fast, and they're kind of currently being schizophrenic. We're going to set the gameplay to 350 milliseconds because I now don't have to generate obstacles on a timer, which is so helpful. You have no idea how helpful that is. It's so much easier this way. God, I'm happy my brain started working. And now I can also make it so they're not asteroids, they're like Flappy Bird. You go hit a gap. So this is great, this is fantastic, this is I'm so happy. Okay, now I have this module again freaking out. Why are you freaking out? Because you're not being reset, you know, that might that might be why. Just a thought. And I'm going to mount it like this. I know it's not the most elegant solution. I don't really give a shit, I'll be honest with you. But you see, now it's I'm like fucking Darman.
So you see.
Now it's switching through the obstacles at the same pace the game is running, which isn't what we want. We want another one of these. No, not another one. It's fine. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a difficult time. I'm going to use this. This is a bit of a more stable input. So let's see now. Okay, now we need to eliminate that double tap. So, like that. Why does it reset? It should only reset when it gets to this one. And this one is only active when this one is active. What the fuck? Oh, because this... Because I'm stupid, that's why it fucking resets, because I'm a goddamn idiot. Because I looped this one back around and then I branched this one up to this one. With every game whoop, it switches the type of obstacle, which is going to be repetitive, but I don't really care. So, yeah, putting break. Now it's time to start configuring these ones. And I don't need these switches anymore. The first one is going to be a hole right in the center. The second one is going to be a hole right here. And you can configure this with whatever the fuck you want. Okay, so I've added a NOR gate that basically acts as a... There's nothing going on, then, I mean, if all those are empty, then you do this because of that phantom bit that's 0, 0, 0. And in that case, it's going to be like that. And they've done the same here, so I have to connect all of these into that NOR gate. So if none of them are active, then you activate the phantom bit and the phantom row of the game, essentially, and 11. So basically it's the 12th row, which is the same thing up here, and essentially the same thing. You're going to see that change a lot quicker here than up there. So basically when none of those are active, it activates this one. And now it's going to be transferring this row, these columns down that grid. So what we do is this one goes to all of these, like so. And you can see I missed an OR gate here as well. All of these need to be AND gates. Essentially now the second row goes into there and so on and so forth, which means music, and yeah, I'll be back. And there we are, that is finished. I'm going to set this real quick just for demonstration purposes, and then we're going to make the Venus thing happen. So let's go 150. I don't know how difficult it would actually be to play at 150. Let's see. Reasonably okay, actually. It could even be a lot faster. Oh no, I need this one, the first one, to switch, because you can see, goddamn, because at the last moment, on the last row, it switches, and that's going to fuck you up. I'm all for element of surprise, but yeah. Or actually this one could switch, the phantom bit. Does that work? Should work. Yeah, it works the same way. Essentially the same thing. Now we need to configure. I'm going to add 2 buttons. Now I can move my player around. I need to repeat that same row just over here. And I need to make this one an OR gate row, but I'm covering up the, it's fine. This is just a display. This serves no practical purpose other than the player knowing where he is, kinda. Oh, I fucked it, and I unfucked it. So now, okay, say it with me. We need an OR gate, an XOR gate, and an AND gate, and a timer. Don't forget the timer. Into XOR, OR gate, and into XOR. This should now light up only when the player collides with an object. So it should light up in this round. Yeah, but if I move over here, it shouldn't light up. And it doesn't. OR gate, yeah. So if I lose, then it turns the game off. Or at least it should, but it's probably also an AND gate. It is, because I'm a fucking idiot. So you lost, the game is off, you can't control the player, and you need to start again. Now what we're going to do is move the controls up here. So right, left, on and off. Look at all of this wasted space, room for activities here, and we're going to increase the gameplay speed actually down to 75 milliseconds. And we're going to save this as not chicken invaders. Okay, and the gameplay speed is now 100 milliseconds. I'm going to finish my pudding and then we can play. I have finished my pudding, and because I absolutely love to teach you guys, I first want to say that it took me 65 minutes to get from that point to this point, and we made a significant mess. And I said quote unquote reprogrammable. Good fucking luck. I mean, you could technically, but I should have added another row of gates here that simply connect out from this, because if you want to do it, or if you want to change a stage now, you have to delete this one or unwire it, and if you delete it, then you have to figure out what goes into it. So, and that should be just this one and this one, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm not going to be touching it anymore. Without further ado, welcome to Not Chicken Invaders. Why does this one not show up? Oh, hold on, I fucked something up. No, it's not having a good time. I also need a manual reset here. I could speed it up a fair bit more. Or could I? Let's go down to 50. This might become unstable. As 2 ticks, scrap mechanic physics kinda gives up. Because memory bits can only process 1 tick. But let's see. Maybe it survives. No, it doesn't. It's really not having a good time. And then it shuts off. 75 might be the maximum. Nope, 100 is the maximum. And even then you can see it glitches sometimes. Oh no, it doesn't glitch actually, that's the switch for the stage. Look. Yeah. Now the only thing that could fix this is a shorter stage. But for now it is more than adequate and more than fine enough. So yeah, reset and off. That is a video game made with zeros and ones in scrap mechanic. Not the most elegant, not the most complicated either. It's a pretty simple concept. So yeah, there's no tallying scores or anything. Thank you for joining me on this late night gaming session. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go yawn myself to sleep right about now. Good night.